Hi, I'm Simon Rushton and this is Taxi Chronicles Podcast. On this podcast, we spontaneously interview unsuspecting passengers with their permission, allowing them to share their intimate life stories and concerns. As our slogan states, real riders, real stories. Some riders prefer to be anonymous, while others ask me to tell their story later on. Either way, there are all genuine 5 to 10 minutes stories, so sit back and enjoy this episode. Morning. Yes, we're back with another episode. Today we have Bob. Bob's an architect. So it's going to be an interesting discussion because as me as an ex-site manager, we're going to have a lot to say. So welcome, Bob.
Hi guys,
okay.
Nice to be on the podcast. I just want to clarify, I'm a very, very junior architect. I've just finished my part 1 and I've worked for a year pretty much. So I've done 3 years of just designing crazy stuff, pretty much an art course, and 1 year of working in practice, I guess.
Okay, we'll have to speak loud for this one.
Cool.
But okay, so what made you want to be an architect?
That's a great question. I'm not sure, to be honest. It was between media studies and architecture, and my mum told me she could picture me being an architect, so I thought maybe I'll just go with that. And then I actually really enjoyed it, which is surprising.
So that's a bit interesting because you said it's between media studies and architecture. Why those two?
That's another good question. I'm not too sure, to be honest. I guess I was interested in film, video, and I like design and stuff. And it wasn't like I was born to be an architect. I hadn't wanted to be an architect since I was born or anything like that.
Okay, so you're saying basically you just found what you're interested in and then picked something along those lines.
Literally, that kind of vibe. I mean, there were so many different things I could have done. I went for architecture because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And I'm very happy that I did. It's quite a kind of, it's almost like an umbrella subject, especially when you're studying. I'd say it was more similar to an art course and like a kind of...
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you find out? What's the hardest part of the course so far, what you've been studying? What's the hardest and what's the most interesting as well? Sorry, go on.
It kind of depends, so you have like design where you're literally just designing buildings. You have practices, which is all about the kind of the policies around buildings, and then you have technologies, which is all about introducing maybe like sustainable materials or controlling your environment, that kind of thing. And I enjoyed design the most. I feel like I enjoyed the design the most. I did the best in design, but I also feel like design was the most difficult, just because I kind of made it the most difficult. Do you know what I mean? I feel like...
How did you make it the most difficult?
Don't know. I just tried to kind of dive quite deep into it.
So you went down the rabbit hole in understanding design. But did you find that you've benefited from going down the rabbit hole?
Personally, yeah, I guess so. In terms of working in practice, I've learned some super valuable skills.
Like what?
But, I feel like architecture at university is super different from architecture in practice. Because at university, you're kind of pushed to do the most radical thing possible, the most experimental work possible, and you're kind of trying to push the discourse of architecture more than anything else. But in practice, you're like building stuff for really rich people, basically.
Okay.
It's like super practical in practice. Yeah. It was cool. I enjoyed it.
So you don't regret what you studied?
No, not at all. I don't regret it. I really enjoy it. I worked in architecture for like the past year. I'm not 100% certain that I'd want to do it for the rest of my life, but I still I'm over the moon with like everything that I've learned and just the kind of skills that I've gained from doing architecture at university.
If you saw the younger you, knowing what you know now, what would you tell the younger you when it comes to architecture, working in architecture?
It's a great question. I'm quite happy right now, so I'm not sure if I would change anything, to be honest. Maybe I just wouldn't say anything to the younger me. Either that, or maybe I'd like kind of put myself onto some cool architects earlier. That'd be about it.
Okay. So it's what you're saying really, it's approach other architects.
Pardon?
What you're saying, it's like approaching other architects would be the advice you would give the younger you. Well, if that's not the case,
I feel like the advice I give to the younger me is probably just to work harder. That would be good advice.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, that would be cool. I worked super hard in like my later years at university. In my earlier years, I didn't work that hard.
Okay, well, you're probably adapting.
Yeah, and I feel like at school it was super easy. Everything felt super easy. You could kind of just coast by and still get good grades and stuff. Then at A-levels that kind of changed. Finally reached a point where you could like actually fail something if you didn't do loads of work. And then university, it was kind of like, yeah, just I guess the next step up.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay. Okay. What's the impact you want to have on the world?
I feel like sorry, can I take this call really quick?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No, don't worry, not a problem.
Hello, hey Liam.
The question was, what is the impact you want to have on the world?
What's the impact I want to have on the world? I guess I kind of just want to accelerate stuff. I just want, kind of like what I said about university, pushing you to experiment as much as possible. I want other architects to do the same thing, just to experiment as much as possible and to be as radical as possible with their designs.
Yeah, I suppose their designs are all dependent on the client.
The client, which just means so much. The client's dependent on money, it's dependent on the laws of physics.
What kind of projects have you been working on as an architect?
I've worked on quite a big range of stuff. I've worked on like some really big kind of almost master plan stuff. I've worked on a lot of stuff in China. I've worked on some stuff in Prague.
You flew to China to work there?
I didn't fly to China, but the projects were based in China. I was pretty much mainly just like 3D modeling and stuff like that.
Okay.
But yeah, the project was based in China.
Oh, that sounds good. Sounds interesting. Well, thanks for that. I know it's a short episode, but we've just come to the end of the road more or less.
Yeah, sorry about the interruption as well.
It's okay, no problem. We'll just sort that out. We hope you liked that episode. Keeping in mind, we never know who we're going to interview. We post twice a day, 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. GMT. Have you ever considered the future economies to invest in? Why not listen to our sister podcast, Africa Investor Stories? Considering Africa has the fastest growing economies and population on Earth and has done for many years, it holds 30% of the world's known natural resources. We publish twice a week, Tuesday with a guest investor and Fridays talking about investment, politics and history. providing a clear understanding for any potential investor.